Welcome back to Pirate Talk Radio. Wow, I've kind of traveled the world. Some of you saw me at Sea of Thieves Fest. It was nice to see you folks. It was nice to say hello. What a fantastic event. That was the first time I had been back in 5 years. And it was incredible. Like, the venue was new to me. Not new to the Sea of Thieves Fest who've been going there for a while, but great venue, great time. It has been obviously a bit of time since Sea of Thieves Fest, and yes, this will be the live Sea of Thieves Fest recording. I think the production folks at Sea of Thieves Fest, no fault to the organizers. They were kind of focused on the main stage, and the second stage that they had didn't exactly have someone assigned to it. So I kind of had to pull all the tricks. I'm glad I brought my giant production kit, because if not, this would not have happened. And kind of Jimmy rigged this recording. It's not the best audio, but it's good. I mean, it's better than I thought it would turn out based on the equipment that was there, and the audio engineer who wasn't. He was at the second stage. Great guy. He was the only audio engineer to run 2 stages though, and they had things kind of going simultaneously. So, but I think it turned out pretty good. I'm gonna try to edit and balance this audio. But why has this been so late? Well, let me just kind of tell you why. Complete transparency and honesty. When I got back from Sea of Thieves Fest, I immediately went in and had back surgery, which I am finally at a point where I can kind of get back to moving normally. Also, about, 3 days after I got back from SOP Fest, my oldest cat, which was about 26 years old, passed away. So it was really quick. I got back and she was normal, and then the second day she was normal, and then the third day she was not normal, and by that evening she had passed away in my arms. So been kind of trying to deal with that as well, and then work has been absolutely insane. So between back surgery, my beloved cat passing away, and work, I haven't been really mentally just in a mood to really edit this down and kind of clean up the audio and such. So I apologize. I have been doing some streaming just to kind of keep my mind busy and things like that. But the other thing is my device. So normally I just record directly into my computer and it's fine. They didn't have the equipment to do that. So I had to run through my audio interface was not working with their equipment. So I had to go to my backup recorder, and that I had to, it recorded in mono because of their output that they gave me. So I've had to convert this to stereo and do editing, and then I found that the cable that I needed to connect it to my computer I didn't have one, so I had to go find this proprietary cable. So it's been a mess, folks. It's been a mess. But I will be doing an episode after this, kind of things that I heard and learned at SOP Fest, along with some of the updates that have came out since SOP Fest. So we'll talk about that in the next episode. But without further ado, allow me to take you back in time. To SOP Fest number 5, SOP Fest 2026 in Walsall, Birmingham, wherever it was in England. Great time, great people, and enjoy the stories that the folks who attended the live recording had to tell.
All right. Maybe I should turn up the volume so the people in the back can hear me and they can come up here and sit down. Although the vendors are really nice, so I mean, they are selling a lot of fun things. The people listening on the podcast medium are like, who am I talking to? Normally I'm sitting in my basement talking to myself, right? Now I have people. All right. Well, welcome back. And for those of you who have never listened to my show, that's probably a good thing. To Pirate Talk Radio. It's a podcast about how long it's been since I've been back to SOT Fest, and more so how long it took me just to get across Birmingham. 2 canceled trains, a train on fire, but I'm here for SOT Fest 2026. So I'm very excited to be here. It's been, 5 years? I was at the original, and now I'm back. So the more people that come up here, because I'm going to have people telling pirate stories, and if people aren't going to stand up and tell pirate stories, it's not as fun. So I was going to ask how everyone's doing, but this event is fantastic. Everyone's having fun. I hope people saw the awesome boats that were up here that are now over there. For those who just listened to the show, they had this painting contest where teams got to paint boats and then make up like a story for them. They're absolutely amazing. There was like this, there's a red boat, like I call it the hit reg boat. That's what it's going to be known as. There was this amazing inclusion boat with the pride flag on it. This really awesome long story. A clan of people got together and made this nice little boat with a wolf on the front, really good. And then the duck boat, which was just, it was nice to see. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Davrim, and I've been doing this podcast for many years. Many people tune in because I rant and rave about this game, sometimes positively, sometimes most of the time not so positively, but that's how it goes. So if you want to tune in, if you've ever listened to the show before, again, my name is Davrim. If you don't like the show, my name is Captain Falcor, just so we're clear on that. All right, so what I want to do today is when I first got invited to sit down and chat, I started to think about what I wanted to talk about. Because again, for those of you who've listened to the show, my show can get a little aggressive. There's no rare devs in the audience right now. They're all playing football, right? Good, because I don't want anything thrown at me. It can get really aggressive, and I actually wrote 2 scripts for this show. The first one was entitled, If I Ran Rare. My friends told me that's probably not a good one to do on this stage. Do it anyway? Yeah, there's some non-PG language in that one. But then I started to think about this event, because it's been 5 years since I've been at this event. And to see how it's grown, I mean, I remember in that little tiny room, super hot room, and I was like off to the side next to Freya Catherine, and myself and Captain Logan were recording a show. No one could hear us because there was no speaker system. It was just us talking to ourselves. And now to see that we have like 2 massive rooms, a giant stage with a live band and all of this lighting, and it's just amazing how far it's come. And so I started to think, well, I could sit here and talk about hit reg and food reg and issues with ladders. I could sit here and talk about the creepy new season pass skeleton hand cutlass that looks brilliant but gives me the heebie-jeebies. But I thought, let's talk about the community, because without you guys, this kind of stuff doesn't happen. And without you guys, this thing that has been created here with SOT Fest would have never, ever came to be, let alone be at the size that it is today. And we have air conditioning in this room, which, for the record, I'm from the United States, if you couldn't tell, and coming over here and realizing that there's no air condition anywhere, it's killing me. I have literally sweat through at least 2 clothing sets since I've been here, and I just got here yesterday, so I don't think I packed enough. So what we're going to do is I want to tell a story about when I first got into this game, and a moment, because we all have these moments in Sea of Thieves. Maybe it's meeting a friend. Maybe it's meeting, I don't know, a life partner. Maybe it was a good battle. Maybe it was, one of your friends just leaving on a rowboat and never coming back, and you never know where he is. I'm not talking about anyone specifically, but it happens. But what I wanted to do was tell a story about when I first got into Sea of Thieves, because according to Rare, I've played since year one. I haven't. And my good friend got me into this game. So I'm going to tell you a story there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this microphone right down front for you all to tell stories of your own for the time that we have available today. It could be your favorite update. It could be any sort of pirate story revolving around Sea of Thieves and why you've played this game for as long or as short as you have. So without further ado, let's talk about this story. And while I'm telling the story, if you want to move your way up to the front so we can actually have a nice little line of people. If not, I'm just going to look at my crew, and they're going to have to come up and tell a story. So save my crew. So we all started this game, and if it's anything like me, I like to learn the story and the lore. So the very first thing I wanted to do, and my friends were PvP players and they were not happy about this, I wanted to do the Tall Tales. And now, the Tall Tales back then didn't have checkpoints. You had to do them all the way through without saving, and you had to complete them 5 times. To get your nice little gold curse. So I'm sure some people here remember that, and now they've implemented the checkpoint system, so people just cheat, as I call it. So we started these Tall Tales. We did them in order, and each time I had my friends who had already done these Tall Tales, and I refused to let them tell me what happens. I had them sit down around the mast, like school kid style, and I pulled out the book and I read to them. All right. This is how we did the Tall Tales. They were not happy about it, but that's fine. I didn't want to be spoiled on anything. One of them already had the gold curse, so he knew everything, and I didn't want any spoilers. So we got through the first Tall Tale, and we're working through them, and we get to, the Cursed Rogue, the one that you first learn about Captain Briggsy, right? And I got this book in my hand, and my crew sat down, school kid style, and I started to read. And I read the line about Princess Me, right? Everyone remember? Did you remember this book? It's the one with the kids writing, right, from Tasha. And I'm like, I can't just read this story about a princess. I'm this massive. Like, when I say massive, my pirate has to be the largest pirate on the Sea of Thieves. Like, we're talking the Chungus of the Chunguses, right? He has no hair, a big beard, like face paint, ugly man. And he's talking about a princess. We can't have that. So I stopped reading the book, made my friend sit there at the mast, and I ran to the store. And I bought a very lovely dress, and I brought the lipstick face paint stuff, and I changed my pirate. And I get back on the ship, and my friends are staring at me like, what is this abomination that has re-entered the ship? And what this became was Princess Davrim. And I started this story in my massive pirate dress, missing teeth and all. And I came up with this voice, and it's an awful voice, and it was, "This is a story about Princess Me, told by Davrim, Princess Davrim." And the laughter started. And that was an understatement, because this laughter lasted hours. Because for that entire play session, through the Tall Tale and what we did later, I talked like that until my voice gave out. And we did the entire Tall Tale. And at the end of the Tall Tale, this is what is magical about Sea of Thieves from the things I remember, is it was revealed Tasha was the one in the story. I didn't know that, and you're all probably looking at me like, you're an idiot. Well, you didn't know that at the time when you're reading the book. At least I didn't. And that was the magical moment when I realized that the story and the lore of this game, when it was done back then, it's just absolutely fantastic. I was actually talking to my friends about moments in games that make us tear up and cry, right? One for me is the end of the Shores of Gold, where the Pirate Lord comes out. That made me get teary-eyed. The other one is Lords of the Sea, the end of the Pirates of the Caribbean part, where all the ships come up and they come to your aid to fight Daisy Jones. Like, tears definitely happened. Well, this moment with Tasha was like kind of one of those emotional moments, not quite to the point of tears, but it was just this moment of realizing this character, this grown lady in front of me, had written this story about a pirate adventure, and she became a barkeep, but still always wanted to be in the pirate adventure. And that just, I don't know, it just hit me weird, and it was just a really cool moment. So we finished that tall tale, and my friends were like, okay, one tall tale is enough for today, especially with you in a dress. So we decided to go out hunting, little moment of PvP for everyone. And we didn't take the dress off, and we didn't stop being Princess Davrim. And this was the day I figured out that harpoon rowboats can be attached to the back of a boat using the harpoon, pulled like a chariot. So now, as we're hunting pirates on a brig, my crew of 2 other people are trying to manage the brig hunting pirates while I'm sitting in a rowboat attached with a megaphone in the Princess Davrim voice, yelling things like, "This is not dignified. Princess Davrim demands another banana." And they're trying to hoist the sails and catch this ship, and I'm still back there. And as we're approaching the ship, I'm yelling, "You have offended Her Majesty Princess Davrim. Your treasure shall be your payment of your offense." And my friends are laughing, and so they can't shoot cannon shots or anything. But it was just one of those moments that just has lived throughout time with my friends that I will never, ever forget. Hours went on until my voice eventually couldn't take it anymore. And we were all pretty much sick from laughing. It was one of the most memorable experiences I've ever had in a video game. And I've had these moments in video games, and it's realized Sea of Thieves is this sandbox. They always talk about this sandbox, but they give you things, just a simple dress and lipstick and a megaphone and a rowboat that attaches, and I created this whole day of adventure and laughs. And I'm sure we've all had those moments in the game. And unfortunately, my crew, Princess Davrim has not died, by the way. Princess Davrim still randomly comes back and annoys my crew quite often, especially when I go down and I'm cooking food and that's all I'm doing while we're being attacked by something and they're crying for help and Princess Davrim is hungry. So we've had those moments. So what I want to do, that was my story, and I've got many other ones. What I want to do is invite other people to come up. Tell me your favorite update. Tell me a moment that you enjoyed in Sea of Thieves. Did you meet a friend? Did you meet a crew member? Did you meet a future life partner? Did you have a funny moment, a horrible moment? But I want to invite people up. The microphone up here is live. Don't be shy, or someone's coming up that I can stare at right now to break the ice. Here we go. All right. Come up. Any story you want. Tell us a story about Sea of Thieves and why it was a great moment for you. It can be anything.
Hi, it's me again. So me and Raven have been playing Sea of Thieves since lockdown, and he hates it. He gets motion sickness, so he hates playing the game, but he still plays it anyway because I love it. And yesterday he proposed at a service station, and I just wanted to tell, we played a silly game together, and now I'm getting fucking married.
That's awesome. Do they have a propose emote yet in the game? They should, right? They should. I was like, how do they do it in the game? But that would be one of those surprising moments, right? Oh, the service station. They do. A propose emote, they do?
He needs to propose in the Sea of Thieves now.
See, now you got to record.
And then we could use the church, and we could do a whole fake wedding.
Oh, yeah, get married in the Sea of Thieves.
I do have the Banshee costume, so.
There you go.
I need to get. Yeah, with 2 weddings. Two weddings, yeah.
Yeah. And now with custom seas, you just make all the fireworks. You have your own fireworks display, right? So that's awesome.
This is an idea. We need to live stream this. This is an idea.
If I think it's also cheaper.
Well, we were actually talking about in Glasgow. There's a pirate ship called the Tall Ship, and we're thinking about getting married there.
See, that would be good.
Pirate themed wedding.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That's awesome. All right. Who's next? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Come on. There's more stories of the Sea of Thieves out there. Come on. Don't be shy. Here we go. Any story. Tell us a story about the Sea of Thieves.
All right, any story. So, back in the day, when I started playing Sea of Thieves, most of us come from different games, and I didn't understand the concept of getting loot and selling it as being the way to actually increase your reputation. So I thought it was quests. Like any other game, you get XP for doing quests and so on and so forth. So that was my impression at the time. So here I am sailing along, and I had 3 hours of time to kind of like break up the monotony from work and what I was doing. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to go hop on. I'm going to do a couple quests for Order of Souls, and then I'm going to go back to work. So I hop on, and sure enough, I'm doing my thing, and I got a few skulls sitting on my sloop. And I go to an island, and there's these 3 pirates who I don't know, but I can hear them. I can hear they're speaking Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese. And I'm like, I'm kind of like swimming around, and I see a snake in front of them, and I go and I kill the snake. Well, they proceed to kill me. They go and they blow up my ship, and I'm like, crap. Now what? So I wherever I respawn, right? I'm like, all right, I got to finish the quest. So in my mind, I got to finish the quest. So here I am going. I got to go get my skulls. I go. I try to get my skulls. They're there. They spawn camp me, and they kill me again. And now I'm like, so now my anger level has gotten to a point. So they chase me down for an hour and a half. So these 3 hours I had to kind of just like, do the thing and go back to work, nope, gone. So they chased me down for an hour and a half. I rage quit to the point where I go on back then Twitter, and I'm like posting all this anger. I did not touch the game for another 4 months. I did not come back to it, but there was a point where I missed the game so much. I said, I have to find a way to get better. I have to find a way to play this game without getting attacked. And so basically I went on some Discords, I found some friends, I found some people with, who didn't have, the PvP skill set either. And we kind of did our thing together, and eventually I got better and calmer, and I understood all the mechanics and everything, and I haven't left it ever since. It's just been like absolutely fabulous. But everybody who has, everybody comes into my community, I say, if you rage quit, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. You just need to come back. Just take a breath. So it's awesome stuff.
That's right. That's awesome. Thank you. I think we've all had those moments that we rage quit from the game and then we miss something. My moments are every episode. I'm not reading the other one, I promise. All right. More stories. What's that? What? Oh, I heard you the first time. I'm just ignoring that you said that game mode. I'm telling you, what they need to do, now that they have last ship standing, they just need to get rid of Hourglass. And I'm sure there's some people in here like, boo. But I mean, last ship standing, it's just designed for that style of fighting. It's that design choice, now they just got to clean it up. But that design choice was very good. And last ship standing is where I think Hourglass needs to go and stuff like that. So, all right. That was awesome. I love that story. We need more stories. Who else has a story? A Sea of Thieves story. We have a proposal. We have a rage quit, comeback life player. Uh-oh. I feel like this one might be about me. Oh, because you have some of those about me.
No, this one's about me being an arsehole.
Okay. I was going to say, it's 2:24 in the afternoon, so at what point? Oh, this story's not just about in the last 15 minutes.
No. I've got the Shrouded Ghost commendation.
Boo. Look, people are leaving now. You're supposed to invite people in.
I did exactly the opposite. We're on a galleon, and this is 4 or 5 years ago. And do I need to be right up? Oh God.
Yeah, you almost have to eat these things.
Is that better?
That's better.
Is it my height now? I want to sit down now. So I was on a galleon, and 3 of us had shot off to an island. I think it was Wanderer's Refuge at the time, just to go and get, because it's obviously back in the day when you didn't have storage crates, so you had to fill your cannonballs up by hand. And the guy that was actually driving the galleon shouted out, yeah, we've got a Meg on us. Didn't really seem that bothered about it, so it's like, yeah, no problems, we'll be there once we've filled our pockets. And about 10 seconds later he went, no, we've got a Meg on us. Yeah, all right, we'll be there. Do you need us back? He said, well, yeah, we've got a Meg on us. It's like, so, okay, no problems. I filled my pockets first and went back to, obviously, via a mermaid. And it's like, the guy who was sailing the boat was Calico. I said, Calico, you could have just shouted, we've got the Meg, not we've got a Meg. So I shouted, obviously, over comms, guys, we've got the white one. You need to get back to the boat. But there was also a sloop in the distance that was coming towards us, and I think they'd obviously got the music for the Meg as well. So we dropped anchor where we were. Obviously, 2 of us trying to do 3 sails is not a good idea. So I just dumped anchor, and this sloop pulls up next to us, just out of cannon shot, and we're piling into this Meg. The sloop hasn't got angle because they've done exactly what we did, but they've dropped their anchor. So I slowly get off the cannons and I walk to the anchor. I raise the anchor. I walk up to the wheel and I turn the boat slowly, 90 degrees, so they're in our broadside. I drop the anchor again and I pummel the sloop into obliteration before they ever had a chance to fire a shot at this Meg. And they sink screaming at me. I won't say it because I know Davrim would, but I won't. There was a few obscenities thrown at me that day, and that's the day I got my Meg.
So you got the Meg that didn't exist, and you also denied 2 other pirates.
To me, the game is all about deniability.
I see. So if you ever see this guy on the seas, deny him something, a banana, anything, he'll be mad. I have yet to see that Meg, by the way. I have played for 8 years and have yet to see it.
Mina got it on Insiders.
Yeah. How many have you gotten so far, Patty? Just one? Okay, just one. All right. I won't get too mad at you then, because I've yet to see it. Like, I haven't even seen it on anything. So, all right. Any other shrouded ghost stories? It better not be the one where someone is in Discord and be like, oh, I have the Meg, and Logan logs in and gets it, because that one still annoys me.
No, I was sailing when the Megs first came out, about a month or so after, and we weren't really, me and my mate Chris, were not really interested in PvP like yourself. Mm-hmm. So anything like that was a bit like, we'll leave it for now, and we saw the white one, but didn't realise what it was.
Oh.
So when we finally did about 2 months later, we both went, that's the one that they're all talking about. That's the one we saw. And we missed it because we didn't want to engage in it because we were carrying a load of loot. We didn't want to lose it.
You didn't want to, yeah.
So we left it.
The one that got away.
I did get it. I was streaming with Wandering Dutch. Just invited him on one day, and he joined me because he didn't play the game. And next minute he hears me erupting, going, stop the boat, stop the boat, stop the boat. And we sank it and we killed it.
Yeah.
And got the achievement and everything. And there was 2 guys in a brig who were looking at us, waiting for their third man to come back to the ship. Mm. And they were going, I've got this feeling they've got the shrouded one. And as soon as we killed it, they came sailing over full belt, and we'd already put our titles on.
Oh.
And they just said, did you just get the shrouded ghosts? And we went, yeah, we did, yeah. And all three of them quit at the same time and just left because they were going to come over and sink us, and they were waiting for the last man to come back to the ship, and he was too busy collecting supplies. So that was my two shrouded ghost stories.
That's fantastic. And then the next day you logged in, the title wasn't there, and they said, oh, sorry, there was a commendation issue. Here's a Voyage of Luck. Yeah, that was good. That was good. What else? Someone else has to have a story. These are good. See, these are the stories that, oh, we have one here. First off, can we talk about this update that introduced this fantastic cosplay? All right. This is fantastic cosplay. How many liked this update? When they started to redo the roar and they introduced this character, I kind of figured this was the amount of hands that went up. Because first off, I think this boss or this boss is a cool boss, except he goes invisible all the time and I can't hit him, and it's just annoying. So excellent cosplay though, fantastic cosplay. All right, tell us your story.
I wish that my Shrouded Ghost story was some fantastical tale of adventure, a fight to the death with another crew over claiming the beast for ourselves. But sadly, it isn't as adventurous, all because of a little bug where it decides to disappear as it's charging.
I'm sure that will be fixed in a future update.
I'm just glad you aren't saying you were the guys that came over.
We found it.
That was my next story.
It'll be fixed in the next update sometime. Hey, supplies got fixed, right? Has anyone logged in and seen it that? Uh-oh. We just got this after that update that supplies are fixed. Does that mean they're not fixed? Oh, because has anyone logged in since the hot fix? What was it, yesterday? Has anyone logged in? No? They claim to be fixed, but I just got the iffy sign, so we might not have completely fixed things. So there's a lot of those in this game, a lot of features. What? Any other stories? These have been great. Okay, we've got the rowboat professional himself coming up.
So this one isn't about rowboats. It's about when Ashen Lords were first introduced on islands. Our mutual friend Logan
Yes.
decided that he would do a little sea of science and determine how many explosive kegs it would take to kill one.
Oh, jeez.
So we have 2 full galleons that have been sailing around for hours collecting kegs from all over the Sea of Thieves. I joined pretty late, so I wasn't part of the collection, but I was part of the offloading the barrels onto the island while trying not to get killed by this Ashen Lord. And somebody's keeping him far away. So I'm swimming back to the boat to collect another keg, and the game stops. Like there's no frame rates. And the screen goes black. And then it goes red and an orange. And I'm like, oh God, did I blow up our boat? It comes back, and I'm still holding the keg. Our boat is fine. I turn to the other galleon, and there's this mushroom cloud. And someone who will not be named accidentally swiped instead of picking something up. So I drop the keg, run to the plank, sword lunge to the other ship, and it is gone before I can even get to the ladder. And that was the day that we discovered galleons can sink pretty quick when 100 kegs or so decide to go off at the same time. So yeah, that was memorable.
I love keg stories. So I was part of a community. I'm still there. They just don't play Sea of Thieves as much. If anyone's heard of the old Notorious Arena League, anyone heard of them before? Yep. So one of the groups who participated in that was the Cutthroat Pirates. Great group of people. And we did a charity event every year called Light Up the Night, when we would raise a whole bunch of money for charity. And because Custom Seas didn't exist, we went out and collected ungodly amounts of kegs to stash them around Plunder Valley and set off this amazing fireworks display once we raised so much money for charity. And I was on the crew responsible to go collect the kegs at Molten Sands. It took us about 3 boats before we're like, there are no kegs in Molten Sands. There are, but we never made it back out in time because the big explosions. But yeah, it was usually an all-day event because someone would slash something and ruin it, because we would domino chain them. So when you set off the first one, it would domino chain, and Plunder Valley's a circle kind of, so it would, and then it would end with this giant explosion at the top of Athena kegs. So that was before the new black powder kegs were in there. But yeah, that was an all-day event because someone would screw something up, and then we would have to go collect again, and or a skeleton would spawn and blow it up. And it was always a lot of fun. So I love keg stories. Also, I just love blowing things up. So what else? Come on, another story. I know you've all had moments in Sea of Thieves. You've all had them. We've all had them. Okay. What do we got?
So I'm a little bit chaotic.
A little bit?
A little bit chaotic good. I won't deliberately sink our own ship or anything else like that. But as an example, as just been shouted, I will lay traps and put fireworks in them for my crewmates to step on because it's funny. However, this particular incident was around Golden Sands before it changed to Port Merrick. And we did all the commendations, as you do, on both sides. And one of our crewmates was very, very adamant that he wanted the Reapers to win. So I made it my life's mission every single time we sailed past or within a couple of squares to jump off with a supply crate to benefit the island and try and stop the Reapers winning. And you wouldn't hear anything for a good couple of minutes, and it would be, where's he gone? Where's he gone? And then you get the little notification saying items sold or turned in. And just hearing his outrage was perfect.
Yes, his outrage is. I set off his outrage just about every weekend, so I understand. That's awesome. I remember that event. That was back. That was the Adventures when they were doing Adventures, right? That was. I miss Adventures. Anyone miss the Adventures? I understand that it's kind of a bummer that you can't like go back and relive them, but I thought the Adventures were an excellent little like nugget of story that you got for a couple weeks, which is it was just nice. I didn't like the mysteries. I know Dre's in the audience somewhere in this doing hard work for the crew here, but Dre was all about the mysteries and things like that. But I couldn't get into the mysteries because you had to go outside the game to figure them out, and I'm not all about that. But the Adventures, I absolutely loved the Adventures. That was a great time in Sea of Thieves. So another story. Someone give me another story. Here we go. We've got the Reaper themselves coming up. That's a great cosplay. Excellent. Excellent.
I'm a bit short.
You can lower it.
This is the story of how I got Pirate Legend.
Ooh.
Now, I used to sail with a crew of gentlemen I no longer sail with, unfortunately, but we used to get on every Saturday night, and we would stack Fort of the Damned. And we were trying to get the commendation where you do 50 of them to get the title and the jacket, you know. And we used to alliance betray people, so we'd go there with an alliance flag, and we'd sail around and start the fort until people would come. And then once we'd get like about half the server, maybe a full server there, we'd start doing the fort, and we'd stack keys and stack loot. And what we'd do is we'd set it up, the loot up on our boat, our galleon, and we'd like make it all pretty and say, oh, we're going to take a screenshot. Let's put all the loot on one boat. We can all take a cool screenshot. And then we would stash the mega kegs somewhere else on the island. And my job was to deliver the... So for the bigger boats at the island, I would swim under them with a keg and blow them up, and then the sloops or whatever would just chase after us. So we would effectively trick everybody into just giving us their loot. And I did this enough that I went from like level 25 and everything to level 50 and everything. This was before the level cap was raised. But yeah, that's how I got Pirate Legend.
That's fantastic. I always have to love Fort of the Damned stories because Fort of the Damned is my favorite event in the game. I've done it way too many times that I now never want to do it. But I was first when I first started playing and I came across someone with the Fort of the Damned jacket. I was like, that is the greatest jacket that has ever been created. And so I have had that jacket, and if anyone ever sees me on the seas, I'm always wearing that jacket. And it's just never left my pirate unless I'm making a point to put on a dress or annoy Patty with not having a shirt on at all. So that's... but yeah, I love Fort of the Damned. I still like to go steal it sometimes.
I don't wear that jacket, by the way. I will never, ever touch For the Damned ever again after all that.
That's how a lot of people are. They're like, I got the commendations, I got the colored skeletons, I got the jacket, the lantern, everything. Never touching it again. I'll touch it now if someone else is doing it. I'll go find the stash of mega kegs and make their ship go away. So, excellent. Love For the Damned stories. Come on, someone else. You've all sat here while everyone else has stepped up. You've got the story in your head. You're just nervous to step up and tell it. Okay, let him go. We'll get you in.
So this happened actually very recently, about maybe 2 weeks ago. As any good pirate, I like to drink when I'm on the seas, which can be a hindrance sometimes, but makes it a lot of fun. Now, I joined a random crew who were world stacking, been doing it for about 3-4 hours, and I like to mess around with mega kegs. Lighting the fuse, diffusing it. Now, I'd probably gone through about half a bottle of rum at this point, and my reactions aren't as quick as they usually are. So I think you can all imagine what happened when I lit the keg and I forgot to unlight it. I was happy, I was drunk, but the crew, they weren't happy.
I've came close to doing that. I've let it go a little long, but when you first started talking about, I was like, oh, just drinking the grog. No, you're talking about like you as the, bad things happen then. Come on up, sir.
It does mean that I do have to put my bag down. Hang on. That's better. I don't speak through my nose. So, we all know that we've got a certain amount of Forts on the Dams we've got to do. Yeah? And we all got... Yeah. Right, okay. I'm one of these people who is bloody useless at PvP. I am disabled. I cannot, for the life of me, defend myself. So, usually I'm with a crew. Or I'm on my own. And on this occasion, I was on my own. And there was a brig crew who was stacking the Fort of the Damned. And I was sitting there at a distance for around about 20 minutes watching them do it. And they must have been on their third or fourth Fort of the Damned. And I thought, I've still got to get the achievement done. I've got to do it. I'm going to do it. So, as we all know, we either sail in, cannons blaring, and we take down the brig. Bravery. No, not me. Stealth. I had to swim with about 2 sharks on my feet. Are we broadcasting? Because I don't want to swear.
Oh, you're fine.
Bum.
It's not too much.
There you go. I managed to get to the edge of the Fort of the Damned. The brig had actually started the next fort. This is now like the 4th or 5th time that they actually started it up. So I sat there, hidden on the other side to where their ship was, as a treasure chest. Now you could hear all of the deaths and being revived and seeing all of the ways that the translator gets things certainly wrong, saying certain things. So I was watching that and just going, are they doing what to a goat? I had to mute my microphone because some of the things that were coming up, and I swear they must have been French or something, because some of the stuff that was being said, Anyway, I was sitting there and I was thinking, okay, they're going to finish this off, and I'm going I'm just going to just let them do whatever they got to do. I get the part of the accommodation. That's it. Brilliant. Fine. Hang on a minute. What's that sloop doing? Oh, no. Sloop coming in the direction towards me. And these guys hadn't seen the sloop. For the next 15 minutes, I was watching this Reaper sloop playing Chase Me with the brig. They were going around in circles. I was sitting there and I was saying, for God's sake, please, just give me the chance to get the... It ended up, the brig decided to grab hold of the loot that they had after sinking the sloop and going. I thought, I'm not going to see them again. That's brilliant. So, leapt bravely into the sea, round the edge of the actual island, got into the fort, jumped up to the top. They had forgotten to blow up the kegs from the last round. Is this long enough for you? Anyway, so the kegs hadn't been blown up. They'd left one of the glowy, flamey skulls. So I decided, as they were slipping off into the distance, that I'd do the Fort of the Damned myself. So I did that. Completed Fort of the Damned, didn't explode up some of the other kegs, and you know that sloop that had been fought and sunk? They only bloody came back, didn't they? So I had to grab hold of what I wanted, including the kegs, before they arrived, grabbed hold of the stuff, put the kegs on the ship, yes, even the minty ones, and then proceeded to get chased around the map for around about 15 minutes by these guys who just really wanted to have whatever. I ended up actually kegging them twice before they decided that they wanted to give up, and that was it. That's the only time that they've actually been beaten by someone who's got Parkinson's. And I was gloating at them and just saying, you can't even beat someone who's got tremors, They were so peed off. They were fuming. Once again, the translator was saying something about goats, but I'll just leave it at that.
Thank you. Yeah. Back to my days with the Cutthroats in the Notorious Arena League, one of the best players in the NIL, he was missing a hand. He was an amputee. And what he could do with a sword and an eye of reach on a controller with one hand, I don't even know. It was amazing.
Do you know there's actually a ship out there on the servers called Uh-Oh? Blurb saw it once, and he saw the name, and he went, Uh-oh. Then the ship turned, and he saw the NAL sailors. He went, uh-oh, and then he quit. He just shifted servers.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm out.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Any other stories that someone wants to share? Anything? We got a couple more minutes. What? Okay. You just about jumped up too. That's fine.
Yeah, when we first started sailing, me and my mate Chris, we'd only just started the game, and you know when somebody makes a beeline for you as soon as you start the game, and you think, why? You've literally seen me at the spawn point, and we were at Sanctuary, and I think we'd found one silvered cup that somebody left on the end of the pier that we'd picked up, and this galleon chased us in our sloop, and we thought, well, we're not getting away from them. There was no diving and going anywhere at that time. It was quit out or, just keep going. So we just made it our mission for the night, and we spent nearly 2 hours with them chasing us, going round rocks, round islands, going in really shallow on the islands, knowing their galleon would hit the sand. Spent 2 hours, and then eventually we got back to the thing, and we left the silvered cup for them and just quit out. And after 2 hours of chasing us, all they got was one silvered cup.
How many of you have been chased by someone you're just trying to log off, but you've got all this loot, and you load it up on a rowboat, and you turn a corner, drop the rowboat, and you take off in one direction, they just keep following your ship? Isn't that the greatest feeling in the world? Because you're like, you're going to figure this out in 20 minutes, and you're going to be really mad, and I'm going to be sold and out this game. I love that. Well, before I close out,
I want to take a moment and thank the amazing people who helped get me here today, which are the patrons. One is which sitting right there, so I appreciate you. But I want to give a shout out to them like I do in every episode. So thank you, Jeff, Captain Chonky, Big Bad Pad, L Cute, I Geffus, and Skemelt666. Thank you guys very much for all the support over the years. I also want to take a moment to thank the amazing audio engineer. He's actually over in the other room doing things for helping get everything set up and working for me today. And take a moment to thank the amazing staff and volunteers here at SOP Fest for inviting me and having this amazing event that has turned into such a big, amazing annual gathering of the community. So everyone, let's give pirate noises and a loud applause for all the amazing SOP Fest crew and volunteers. Those folks are fantastic, and they put on a great event every single year. So again, thank you all, those of you who have joined us, for those of you who are brave enough to come up and tell stories. Again, I am Davrim. If you like my show, if you don't, my name is Captain Falcor. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you next time on Pirate Talk Radio.